Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like AI has done it again. Now, when I first read about this, I had a bit of a giggle. But when I read some of the story, or some of the writing, I lost my shit laughing. It makes no sense. Anyway, I'll give you some examples, right? But let me break down what happened first. The Commonwealth Short Story Prize, which is huge. It's one of the most prestigious awards, right? There's something like, I think it's close to 8,000 blind entries, and the judges go through them all, obviously, and pick their favourites. So, let me just take a look at my notes. The judges, chaired by renowned novelist Louise Doughty, handpicked The Serpent in the Grove by a Trinidadian writer named Jameer Nazir. Now, regional judge Sharma Taylor praised it as polished and confident, prose that pulses with a voice of restraint and quiet authority. Hang on to that. It's just, the whole thing was AI. It was all completely AI, but even better than that, the author themselves was completely AI generated as well. It just goes to show how these awards are really just nonsense. It is just so pretentious. Like, they're so up their own arse. As if we needed any further proof, but here it is. I'll give you some examples for the short story, right? A woman described as big in a way of women who never apologise to furniture. The fuck does that even mean? I'm just, in my mind, what I'm picturing with that is this enormous woman who's just fucking trucking through a living room, flattening coffee tables and knocking over furniture. That's what I'm getting from that. Right? Where's another one? Describing a character who moved quiet as if sound were taxed. Oh my god, that sounds like an edgy high schooler who's like writing really bad Raymond Chandler fan fiction. Jesus. And another belter, the kind of walking that made benches become men. The kind of walking that makes benches become men. What in the cosmic horror is that? I don't know. And there's another one that just is also complete nonsense. The girl smiled like sunrise over a sink. Yeah, that was one of the lines. Smiled like sunrise over a sink. Now, this is obviously the kind of shit that AI comes up with. Because AI isn't really intelligent. Not really. Not large language models like ChatGPT, things like that. They just sort of, how can I explain it? They statistically put in the most likely word. So when they're coming up with metaphors like this is the kind of shit you end up with. The kind of walking that made benches become men. I still can't wrap my fucking head around that one. But it also does, there's a lot of points in it where, like ChatGPT especially, has a bit of a structural crutch. When it's describing something, it'll be not X, not Y, but Z. You know, it uses that sort of layout. And there was a lot of that. I mean, I've got an example here. They say the Grove still hums at noon. Not the bee's knee industry, blah, 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 but a belly sound. That's just classic ChatGPT kind of stuff. And the thing is, The thing is, they actually had to end up running it through their own detection software and things like that as well, and it came up 100% AI generated. Because, of course it fucking was. The author claims he has an unusual process, typing on an Android phone due to chronic health issues, and denies using AI. Meanwhile, two other regional winners have also just been caught up in the exact same AI detection dragnet. Now, the thing about the Commonwealth Foundation, right? What these judges, what they're doing is they're just so desperate to find, I guess, a kind of post-colonial genius. And what it reminds me of is, you know, say somebody just splashed paint across a canvas, doesn't mean anything, but then art critics will be like, I think with this stroke, what the artist is trying to say, it's the exact same fucking deal here. Exactly the same thing. It is just pretentious bollocks. Anyway, yeah, AI got the trophy. It won the award. And apparently even the author themselves wasn't even a real person. I saw that. I thought I would share. I thought it was pretty fucking funny. Anyway, let me know what you think. Stay safe, guys, and I'll speak to you again soon.